A lot of energy, good communication, a lot of excitement for the first day to be back.
There was a play, I think it was just a short pass to the tight end, and he caught it at the sideline and then was stripped of the ball, and that seemed to elicit a big reaction on the sideline. I mean, is that going to be a big thing in practice? Takeaways, stripping the ball, stuff like
For
that?
sure, it's I know every organization probably says it, but we talk about the ball every single day, and it's always an emphasis, no more than it was a year ago or the year before that or prior to that either. So it's always great to get the ball from the offense, and like I said, there's a lot of excitement. So to get the ball out, we want to break records the other way. So.
Nick Bosa.
I've got to go back and watch the tape. First day, there's a lot of communication things from the back end, so I've got to see the tape.
What's Drake Greenlaw done that's allowed him to get as many reps as he has so far?
You know what? He's got promise as a rookie. There's going to be some things as the install gets wearing on him, but he's got good athletic movement, good instincts, more instincts than I thought he would behind the ball. We still got to get pads on, see how he can hold up against those linemen. But he's proving it every day by just being accountable and doing things the right way. And so he's in the mix for that Sam linebacker spot, along with about 4 or 5 other guys. So it's an open position, and may the best man win.
Is it something you said, Sam? Is that really where you're honing in on with him, or do you want him to? I mean, obviously you want them to know all the spots, but are you really focusing on Sam with him right now?
From a base defense standpoint, he's still going to play nickel will. So they're really interchangeable. All 3 of those linebackers, they've got to be able to play the hook, they got to buzz, they got to play man, they've got to do all of it. So they're all 3. It's just the Mike does the most talking with the way it's designed right now. But that 3rd linebacker spot is wide open, and like I said, there's that whole linebacking group is working for it.
It seems like he plays today and be in the right spots. Were you impressed with his instincts in those instances?
Yeah, he popped up behind the line of scrimmage a couple times, and then I'll go back, watch the tape, see if it was a lucky guess or instincts. But he's building trust. He's still a rookie though, so.
It's been a while for Nick since he's been able to put pads on and actually do it. How excited are you to see him do that, and do you get the sense that he's really kind of been aching for it?
I know for him, he's been. I mean, he was hurting in terms of wanting to be out there for OTAs. I mean, he comes from a football family, loves football. So for him, I'm excited for him. For me, he's a rookie with a helmet, no pads right now. So it's just want to see him get better, be deliberate in his practice, and see how good he can get.
Are you ramping him up at all, or is he full go?
They're full go. So they're on a schedule. The performance staff has done a great job designing a schedule for the entire team, and we're adhering to it and see where it goes. So
His schedule's no different than any other guy.
no.
You mentioned guys popping in the backfield today. Solomon had a couple moments. You stand right in the quarterback's face. Last season, he had a little bit of regression. What do you expect to see from him in this camp and to kind of get back on track from what you guys want to get out of him?
My expectation really for the entire group is to get a little bit better every day. And I know that's very cliche for you guys. It's not a headliner, but it's the truth. There's no what do you tell a guy that you expect 8 sacks, and what if he doesn't get it? Does that mean he had a disappointing season? For Solomon, it's just be relentless like we know he is. Get a little bit better every single day, and trust that your best is pretty freaking good. And that's for everybody. And you don't, and it doesn't just happen by you showing up on game day. Just because you were a first-round pick or an undrafted free agent, it really doesn't matter. Showing up isn't good enough. You've got to show up with the right mindset to be able to get better. And so Saleh, having the full off season and going through, I'm very excited for him and really his entire family as they continue to move forward.
What do you like sub-base
So you guys are going to see from a D-line standpoint, and I wouldn't make too much of it for all of you guys. You're going to see them all over the place. The philosophy of our system is to throw 4 guys out there, and wherever they land, they play. And Saleh has great versatility to go inside, outside. Armstead can go inside, outside. Street can go inside and outside. Buck can play 3 and nose. So can Julian. I mean, they're going to be everywhere. And the design of it is to make sure that our we are rolling and coming at it in waves and trying to create the versatility that trying to utilize the versatility that our defensive line has.
Because you guys have said in the past that you saw Solomon and Eric as base ends and inside a nickel. Has there been some philosophy change there?
No, it doesn't change. I guess I want to make sure I say that if you're going to draw up a perfect situation, they would be base end nickel 3. But you're going to see them throughout camp getting that work in because they've got to be able to get the work in to be able to play. Once we get to game day situations, you'll start seeing more isolated roles, if that makes sense, or defined.
You said in the spring the plan with Tavarius Moore was fluid in terms of whether he would be at safety or corner. Has he started to solidify himself at safety, and what do you like about what he's done back there?
He did a nice job in those couple of weeks that he played free safety. Felt like it warranted him getting more of an opportunity, especially with Jimmy still on the mend for a couple more weeks. Got some guys back at corner too that allowed some flexibility to do that too. So again, he's shown good progress. It's got a long way to go with regard to that position, but he does look comfortable back there. So keep it rolling and see where it goes.
John and Kyle talked a lot about culture yesterday. They said it's time to stop building culture and start and time to win. You're very conscious of culture. You have lots of mantras. How would you describe the culture that you guys have built here the last couple of years?
You know what? I feel like Kyle and John have done a fantastic job with regards to building trust. One of the most fragile things in human relationship is trust. And Kyle and John have done a great job kind of building that. And if you can build a culture of trust, you can then transfer to a culture of accountability because you trust that the heart's in the right spot. And so through accountability, when teams start to coach themselves and it's done with a good heart or trusting measures, it seems to take off. And so being able to hold yourselves accountable starts with being able to trust each other. And I feel like that's what John and Kyle have done a great job doing throughout the first couple of years. So, and they are right. I mean, it's time to hold everyone accountable. Let's go get something. So.
With Solomon, I think he definitely looks a little bit different than last year. Stronger, but he said he was lighter. He said that last year was like 280. This year probably around the weight he was most comfortable at, 270. Have you seen more quickness from him physically? Where do you feel that he's at this year versus last year?
You know what, Solomon, the athleticism and all that stuff to me is not as different. It's not different to me. The clarity at which he's playing is going to be what's evident to everybody. The decisiveness is what's going to be clear to everybody. And when he can eliminate gray area from his life, he'll be able to showcase all that athleticism that he had coming out of college. And right now we don't have pads on, so all of it's good. But being able to transfer that onto pads and continue in the direction he's going is going to be the next step for him. But right now he is playing with a clear mind. There's not much gray area in his play, and he's having some success. So just keep it going, right?
You mentioned the mental clarity. Last time we talked to Solomon, he spoke a lot about how healthy he got mentally, from dealing with all the stuff last season and whatnot. How much do you think that is playing into, like you said, his mental clarity these days?
Anytime. I mean, I'm sure it would relate to all you guys. If you got something going on in life, you can't exactly focus on your job. The mind controls the body. Whether it's in great pain or doesn't matter, the mind is always going to push the body to do more than it's capable of doing, or it can pull it back from doing more than its ability. So the clearer the mind and the less gray area you live in, the better you can operate physically. So he's gotten to a great point. He's in a great spot in life right now, and with the D-line and Coach Kasarik creating black and white in his play, there's hopefully he'll be able to maximize himself physically.
Kind of a broad question, but why was it important to tinker just with some of the things you're doing, basically at all three levels of the defense? It's making some changes. Was it just to be able to do more? Does it play to your personnel a little bit better?
From a nickel standpoint, the whole league has really gone to a one-back spread. I shouldn't say the whole league, but a majority of the league. And to be able to be more fluid between base and nickel, where we're not as predictable in base, where in nickel we're a little bit more diverse, to be able to have that fluidity, so there's more carryover and crossover, so we can play teams in base when they're in nickel if we need to. We can play teams in nickel if they're in base personnel if we need to. We can be more versatile from a personnel standpoint, but keep the structure of our defense. And so the very small changes we made are really designed to utilize our personnel and to be able to create fluidity throughout the entire system, so teams can't just jump in and out of personnel groupings to dictate what coverage we might be in. We can continue to dictate what coverage we're in, like we have been able to do in nickel, if I'm making sense.
Obviously, I hadn't had a chance to see much of Jason Verrett playing football, but just being around him over the last few months, what are your kind of impressions of his personality that makes you believe that he can perform?
With Verrett, he's got a tremendous mindset. Trying to make sure I say this the right way. He's a dog. It's the best way. Like, he's just a down-to-earth grown man, and there's no BS in him. There's no nonsense. This is what we've got to get done, and this is how we're going to do it, and get out of my way or I'm going to run you over, type of a feel to him. And so he's a grown man. When you talk to him, just have a conversation with him. You're like, damn, that's as real as you can get. So excited to have him here from not only as a player, but from a leadership standpoint, and what he brings to that room is toughness. You know, it's a good personality.
Can you give an example of something?
Not right now. The interaction has been, we've had some interaction, but the more and more I talk to him, I might be able to do an impersonation by the end of training camp.
You got Verrett across from Goodwin today. Is there any plan to ease him in at all?
Yeah, Verrett, Quan, all those guys who missed OTAs are kind of on a different schedule than the rest of the team.
Robert, first, Ronnie Blair, you talked about how much you liked him, through the years. Why is he? Not many holdovers left from the past regime, but why is he a guy that stuck around? Because he's not most likely candidate.
Ronnie has. I joke with the guys and everyone who ever talks about Ronnie, so I'll say it here: if you like winning, you like Ronnie Blair. If you don't like winning, then you don't like him. It's a very simple concept, but Ronnie does everything right. He's very versatile. He's a very good football player, very instinctive, and he is going to do things. He just finds a way to win. You give him a one-on-one situation, he finds a way to win. You give him a job responsibility, he finds a way to put himself in an advantageous position. So he's got great versatility and instincts. He works hard. He stands for all the right things. He's a great leader. Talk to him about the back end, and he'll give you a dissertation on how to play cover 3. I mean, the guy's unbelievable. So Ronnie, if you like winning, you can write as many stories as you like about him. So.
Joe Staley said after practice that Nick Bosa has really good hips, and that's what makes him hard to block. Could you sort of elaborate what he might mean by that and about Bosa's hips?
So Bosa wins in close quarters. He wants you close to him, as close as possible, and then he just has an ability to flip his hips, get skinny, all in close quarters, where most people need space so they can knock arms down and they can create angles for themselves. But the closer, which by was it Mike Tyson? The closer you got, the more trouble you were in. I mean, because he just loved to be in there tight. It's the same thing. He just gets in there tight, and then he can work his body, hands, has hand-eye coordination, and all that's pretty good. So on the flip side, though, he's going to have to figure out how to win in space. As a rookie, I guess he got Joe a couple times today, but Joe is a seasoned vet, and he's going to find out very quickly how O-linemen adjust in this league tomorrow when Joe stalemates him. So, I know it's exciting for him, but he's still just a bobblehead running around until we get pads on. So he'll get a chance tomorrow to see his game and see where it evolves with Joe making his adjustments. But Bosa, he's got a chance to be great, but he's got to take every day and just understand that he's got to evolve his game. Otherwise, he'll figure it out real quick.
You said he's best in close quarters. Does that mean he's a fit as a wide 9, or is that an adjustment?
No, it's still a fit because he'll close space in a hurry, and when they close space, those old linemen, they can't help but create combat. And when he's in that combative situation, that's where he excels.